So recently I returned to Blade and Soul Live. This was after the many issues of Blade and Soul Neo. I wanted to check out how original Blade and Soul is doing. So I actually got to go into a party and play with people and do some of the content. Now this is a character I never level past completing the main storyline. So one of the things is my gear is not crazy good and my Hamu level is low and all that. So this is not like an endgame character by any means. But it's been a few years, so I returned back to the game and I was actually able to do some content and let you guys know how I feel about it. So let's talk about the game. So the main thing to talk about is that number one, the game is dead. I'm gonna be honest here. The population is not there at all. Like there is not many players around. I would be surprised if there's more than 500 people on North America, maybe 1,000 total on NA and EU, but it is not a popular game by any means. But that does not mean there isn't some fun to the game. So one of the things I noticed is, number one, do not try to get people in F8 because there's no one in the dungeon lobbies in F8. The only way you can join parties is if you're in the regular open world and you just ask in the world chat to go and do daily challenges with other players. So this actually took me a while to do. I had to beg essentially in the party chat saying, someone play with me, let's just run anything. I'll run anything. I'm not geared. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I will literally just play the game with you guys. And I actually, after about 20 to 30 minutes of trying to get people to play with me, I found one guy named Skyless Arc, and he actually recruited me and other people because he kind of knew the lingo of what to say. He said, oh, you're not recruiting right. Like you have to say a certain phrase. It was like DC 2 out of 4 or something. It was like, I guess it was just the daily challenge. And then we finally got people to join. Now, one of the things I noticed is that they changed the parties to a 4-man group. And I really think that's because the population is so low that it's hard to get a 6-man party group. But 4 is obviously very easy to get. And just newsflash for you guys, I have no idea what I'm doing on the warding class. So if my rotation is terrible, don't judge me. But essentially, entering the game and actually having some decent gear is not too hard. Once you reach near the end of the story, you're level 60, the Soul Boost event that's going on right now actually gives you a ton of gear, and it got me to over 3,000 AP, which I don't know how good that is. It's probably not great, but it's enough to do some decent damage to the bosses. The bosses died insanely quick in these parties. I don't know if my players on the team were like insanely geared or what, but it seems like a lot of these daily challenge bosses were just very, very quick, like very easy. And honestly, I have to say, I actually had fun running these dungeons. A lot of them are really cool designs. Like this one right here was so trippy. It reminded me of like, if you guys seen Demon Slayer, it reminded me of like Muzan's like Demon World layer. Like it was just so trippy and cool, and like actually some really underrated dungeon designs in this game, and the bosses are really cool. They obviously go down very quickly, but some of them do have mechanics that you have to follow, and you can die. Like, I actually die here because I have no idea what I'm doing, of course. But it's not super brain dead easy. They just die quickly because everyone has really good gear. But I actually had a good amount of fun in Blade Soul Live, and I really feel like if you had a solid group of people, like, these dungeons only take 4 people. If you could get a group of 4 solid players to play with you, like your friends, you can actually knock out these dungeons quickly every day and have some fun just enjoying the combat. I don't really feel like the game is in a healthy place to really take it too seriously because long term, the population is not there at all. And really, there's barely any people advertising in the world chat where everyone said that's where like people make the parties. There's not even that many people recruiting for parties, to be honest with you. So the game is definitely in a very dead state. But that doesn't mean there isn't some fun to have, and I can really see like just hopping on with a group of friends to knock these out daily and just enjoy the combat is kind of underrated. Like these dungeons are actually pretty cool, and I haven't played in many years, so a lot of this doesn't even make sense to me, but just doing these dailies with a group of people was pretty cool. And then after the dungeons were done, I actually joined their clan, and they have a Discord and all that. And so it actually was pretty enjoyable, and I was very surprised. Now, I wouldn't say it's more easier to get into than Neo, because Neo is very more basic in terms of gear. With the Blade Soul Live version, there's so much gearing, so much stats. It's honestly like almost like gives you a headache with how much different stuff you have to like figure out. Like they just throw all this stuff at you from the Soul Boost event, and you're just like, what is all this equipment? You don't even know what you're doing. But I will say that the Blade Soul Live experience is actually not that bad. You just kind of have to put yourself out there, and I was just like letting them know like this for the carry, just you gotta put yourself out there, be nice, and like these people are actually very chill. Like they'll just group with you and have fun with you. Probably because they don't get that many new players, to be honest with you. Really, the biggest issue for me is just the gearing in this game, and I have like a little picture right here. just looking at all this crap it gives you, like once you complete the daily challenge, like look at all this stuff in my inventory. Like there is no guides on like even like what you're supposed to do. There's so much crap they just like throw at you. That's the biggest downfall of this game. You know, number one probably being the obviously the population being very low and at risk of being closed down. But the second biggest issue is that there's just so much crap thrown at you. Like you almost get a headache. You're like, what is all this crap? Like throwing all these like cool looking items, like they look all fancy, but like what am I supposed to be doing right now? Am I supposed to be upgrading my weapon? Do I upgrade my accessories? Do I farm a certain dungeon to increase my gear? Like the game is very confusing, and it's over 10 years almost of bloat in this game of gearing. Like it's been out since 2016, so it's like so much gearing on top of gearing. So like the game's bloat is just insane, and that's why Neo I still feel like is a better experience because it's still newer. And yes, there's RNG upgrades, and there's the cash shop and the skill book systems being really terrible, but at least the gearing is pretty simple. Where in Blade Soul Live it's very, very confusing, and they're like in the clan the people were saying like, hey, don't upgrade that weapon or don't upgrade this item because if you do it messes it up, and I'm just like, what the heck is going on? So it is very confusing, and really Blade Soul Live, like this version, all it needs is like basically a revamp of the gearing system and the levels. Like World of Warcraft did this a couple years ago with Shadowlands, where they reduced the levels back to like level 50 or level 60 instead of like level 120 or whatever, and they like kind of switched the gearing and everything, just made it more streamlined. And Blade Soul Live, that's all they really need. They just need to make it more simple because there's so much gearing and accessories and psyches and pets and talismans, and it just makes you like literally like, what the heck is going on? So that's the biggest issue with Live, and it could really use some type of revamp system. But anyways, that's really the video. I just wanted to kind of make a short video of my experience of playing the game and jumping back into it. By no means, again, do I feel like this is one you should devote all your time to, just because it's just not a healthy population of the game, and I don't really see it lasting forever. No MMORPG is going to last forever, but other ones like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV are a much safer option just because they actually have hundreds of thousands of players, if not millions, like World of Warcraft. So with Blade Soul Live, the population is very low and you can feel it. So that definitely sucks. But again, if you just treat this like a dungeon lobby simulator and just roll with 4 friends of yours and just kill some bosses, is actually pretty fun. And like these dungeons are very quick. Like this one took literally under like 5 minutes. Like all of them are super fast. So like just enjoying the combat and just treating it like a dungeon lobby simulator is actually an enjoyable experience. So if you ever want to check out Blade Soul Live, it is free, and just leveling up through the storyline and doing the Soul Boost event, you get pretty good gear. You actually could have a pretty good experience. I was actually having more fun than I thought. Like look at this one. This took like 2 minutes to do this dungeon, like insanely fast. So that's really my thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Do you guys think this is a more fun experience than Neo? I would say it's kind of hit or miss. Like I did have a lot of fun running the dungeons, but there's a lot of issues in this game too. Let's not act like it's way better than Neo by any means. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have tried Blade Soul Live recently, and I'll see you guys in the next one real soon.